Shalom, shalom, shalom. Let me just a second. Let me check my audio here. Let's see. All right, that should be good enough. Okay. First and foremost, call hello Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Rakahakwadash, and of course, once again, double honors go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. I'd like to send out salutations also to the fellow Akim, all right, that are out there on the highways and byways, week in and week out. And after many works in the form of videos and lessons and things of that sort that are uploaded daily and are out there for the edification primarily of the hopefully elect of our people. All right. Of course, they're out there also for everyone else to see. It's not like we're trying to hide anything. We're doing what we were commanded to do according to Ezekiel 2nd and 3rd chapters. All right. Habakkuk 2nd chapter. We're out there. We're on that wall. We're the watchmen. We're trying to tell our people, hey, time is short. Get your affairs in order. And those affairs, hey, you got to repent. All right. These prophecies are like time. They're going to wait for no man. All right. This is a copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair uses are used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Fair use, fair use, fair use. Okay? Man, there are, other things going on, but this Carmelo Anthony case has got everybody got everybody in a, uproar and are just the hypocrisy and racism, bias, whatever you want to call it, is so blatant in this. And we have to also look at the criminal defense attorney that the Anthony family hired. You got to remember, all these people in these small towns are connected. It has been discovered for a few days now that this defense attorney and the prosecutor wish to work together. Also, that the Metcalf family and the judge that presided over this case and the DA are friends. How can you say this kid is being railroaded without saying this kid has been railroaded? Also, it came to light that they were going to send him to the Byrd unit down there in Huntsville, where one of the assistant wardens, whose last name is Metcalf, all right, supposedly, I'm just going to say it like this, is related to these people, cousins. So, yeah, yeah, this is what they do. And I had some idiots in the comments section thinking we just make all this stuff up. These crime statistics, as they like to point to, also prove that we are the most exonerated. That 1350, all right, that late Charlie Cook with his line, Charlie Kirk, Charlie Kirk, see how unimportant he is? Like to go out there and lie, and that's why he got a hole in his neck when he was getting ready. He was just finishing uttering that lie that was coming out of his mouth. All right, but this kid here, this is something they couldn't do because they usually like to dig up the dirt, all right, on Jake. And in this case, they didn't bring out the dirt on who they should have brought out the dirt on. Now, if roles were reversed, you better believe they would have brought out all the dirt, all right, if roles were reversed and it was the Jake kid that got killed. Oh, yeah. They would have brought up everything. He was a bedwetter and all this shit. That's what they do. This is the history. But this kid, they didn't have anything on because they couldn't spin that narrative about him coming from a broken home. Actually, the Metcalfs came from a broken home. They were suspended that day. What were they doing at the school function? Since you want to bring up that shit. Yeah, for you people that like to run your mouth. All right. Because everybody's seeing these Edomites, these clean lepers that they are. All right, Klondikes, troglodytes. You got to be a special kind of evil to concoct some shit like this, knowing that your sons were pieces of shit. Hell, they even beat up the father and put him in the hospital. None of this came out. I wonder why. And for those of you that hadn't heard or seen these people who have seen the video testify, I'm going to show you that here. This is why it wasn't publicly shown, because whenever they have something, when they have Jake dead to right that he's done something in his own video, oh, they can't wait. So it makes you wonder why the video wasn't shown. Yeah, they railroaded this kid, and I just hope nothing happens to him. Because Huntsville is... Anyway, let's go ahead and roll the video. This is Willie D. In fact, both of these videos I'm going to show are Willie D. Willie D Live. And yeah, you have people that just see through, no matter their political affiliation. They this is bullshit. And like was said, this was a modern day lynching of this guy. This young man, just for defending himself. Here we go. And I'm telling you, before I roll this, growing up in an atmosphere just like this, I'm going to tell you the mindset of these Edomites, these so-called white people. All right, they think the world is theirs. They have enormous chips on their shoulders. All right. And in the case here, what you should have done, if you had half a brain, all right, because the video is going to show Anthony was sitting there for 8 or 9 minutes by himself. Wasn't bothering nobody. All right. So why didn't you go get someone with authority? Not just you saying, hey. Now, some people will say, when it comes to high school events like this, that you under some other school's tent, that's an invitation for an ass kicking. But under these circumstances where it was pouring down raining, they were under a severe thunderstorm warning, I believe. Guy just wanted to get out of the rain. Wasn't really tripping on some shit like that. And then it turns out the guy that supposedly was a friend switched up on him. Again, your attorney, aren't you supposed to know about this? All right, didn't you prep this guy as a witness? But he ends up speaking, man, for the prosecution. Ain't this some shit? Here we go.
What's up, family? You're not going to believe this. We got a Trump supporter who goes by the name Country Boy Online.
I hope y'all can.
So
what's wrong with the volume?
After Carmelo Anthony was railroaded into a 35-year sentence for murdering 17-year-old Austin Metcalf, that he straight up said he's done with the Republican Party.
Brubaker style.
I ain't got no problem with that. Now, here's the deal, fam. This is how he feels today. Perhaps he'll change his mind. Either way, I kind of just like the idea that people who are on the other side of the aisle can also see the BS. You dig what I'm saying? Check it out.
Happy Thursday morning. How's everybody doing? So, Jeff Metcalf, oh, I tell you what, he got a lot of nerve. I'm not going to sit there and say what I now know to be a fact, but I'm just going to say this. I got you, Hoss. I got you. And it's already in the works for you, the judge, and the prosecutors. See, when somebody has alcohol problems, they like to run their mouth too much. So they didn't know how to truthfully answer the best way of a direct question earlier, did they? Mr. Metcalf, you a racist also. I heard everything you said. What kind of military veteran you call yourself? Let me tell you something, Mr. Metcalf. Back in the day when I was in the Army, and I knew you was who you are right now, and who you've always been, I'd have whooped your ass. You got a lot of nerve to be talking about African American people like you just did a while ago. Hey, Sarah Fields, you got a lot of nerve to be sitting with that man, or however y'all did your interview. But that's all right. I've already made one important phone call to a very damn good friend of mine in Texas. Now I want to ask a question. How the fuck did this incident take place in Denton, Texas, but the trial was moved to Collin County? But there was never a change of venue filed in the case.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. The change of venue. Why?
Oh, I know why.
Railroad.
It's called that fucking redneck fucking judicial style shit down there. Because see, I'm just gonna tell y'all, the photo floating around with Metcalf and you know who, that shit ain't fake. That shit ain't AI. I can't tell you how I know for a fact right now. But I'm gonna tell y'all, this shit's for real. This shit is some serious shit. They never filed for a change of venue. No. That case was to be held in Denton County, Texas, not Collin County. But I'm gonna tell you what's up. When the dad of the person that lost their life is friends with somebody that's very good friends with the judge, Roach, and good friends with the prosecutors, where the fuck you think they moved the case to for? Why you think they put the case in the other county?
Now, just for clarity, fam, there was some discrepancy about where the case was or where it was supposed to be. Denton County, County, I mean, or County, Denton County, Collin County. Now, Frisco is in Collin County. It's in Collin County. Now, but parts of Frisco, from what I understand, is also in Denton County. This happened at Kirkendall Stadium, which is located in Collin County. So just to clear that up.
Okay, thank you for clearing it up. Because
Y'all some sorry ass motherfuckers, man. Let me tell you something. I may not have went to law school, but I'm damn sure smart enough to nail you.
But that don't change anything that he's saying. The whole thing was a big old railroad. I mean, this is just one item on the tape.
Your ass is to a blackboard. And like I said, I've already made one phone call and I'm getting ready to make another first thing in the morning. It doesn't matter whether or not he may have committed manslaughter. What matters is this kid never fucking got a proper procedural due process trial. And he's got a judge, he's got prosecutors faced with him. Why, they friends with a dad's friend of the deceased. What the fuck?
that's automatic.
Metcalf does not have to be friends with the judge and friends with the prosecutor. Just him being friends with someone that's friends with them.
They
I
should have
want there's any
recused
photos of
themselves.
them all having beer together and playing fucking golf too. But I'm gonna tell you this. Cell phone data. Who was at whose places? Who was it? Synced, y'all. with their cell phones right around each other.
Yeah, because they can
That
get
means
pulled all
y'all
that.
railroaded this kid, and you even moved it from one county to another. I never knew that it was Denton County. I just knew that they called it Frisco, Texas. I never looked at the county. But I always knew that it was Frisco, Texas, where the incident took place. That's Denton County. That's not Collin County. The incident took place in Denton, not Collin County. That's crazy. But again, y'all, they were supposed to have Texas State.
Yeah, regardless, you know, you can see where there can be a mix-up. Now, me not being there, I'm not going to, you know, comment on that. But that's why they call it the Dirty South, especially when it comes to us. If there was any chance that there was conflict of interest in anything, those individuals should have recused themselves. Mainly the judge. All right. But in the case of prosecutor, oh yeah. Come to find out now that the defense attorney, and the prosecutor work together. So see, we're not just throwing shit out there just for the sake of it. Trust you me, I'm the type. If that kid was guilty of all this they said, and I seen the video that proved it, oh, I'm done. But knowing the history of this foul-ass country when it comes to us, you gotta ask questions. You gotta dig deeper. Because these motherfucking Klansmen today, they not all, you know, it ain't like it was back in the day. All right, they try to be slicker with it. This kid had no, like I said, they can't point to that narrative like they wanted to. Oh, this kid, you know, he came from a broken home and all this other shit, which they're responsible for anyway. When you go back, everything we try to do in the history of this country to better ourselves, it was always met with sabotage by them. Always. This isn't fiction. Like I said, there's a little book I always carry with me. It's called How White Folks Got So Rich. And it goes through that little book. It's probably going to cost you a fortune now. And it goes into all the things that they did and continue to do. To the point where one of these liberals, I don't trust none of them because both of them are against us. What's his name? Elizabeth Warren got on the House floor and told about the things that they have done. But are they going to do anything about it? No, that's why they're going to lose everything. Because this is the type of individual. What good is a fucking apology if you're not going to make restitution? But trust you me, when things are flipped, oh, they make sure we pay restitution. The hypocrisy, people. The hypocrisy. The chief hypocrites on the earth. That's why they got to go. And they are going. This is why the Most High hates Edom. The red, the people, that name translates to red. And what are these people? They're red. They're not white. They're clean lepers, and as a result, the blood shows through their skin, hence the red. There's no such thing as a black person. There's no such thing as a white person. Those are social constructs. And that started in the 1680s, 1681, I do believe. White. What the fuck is a white?
Police immediately investigate. When have we ever seen something go down at a school where you only have local police involved? This shit's fucked up. You know, if I didn't know any better, it made me wonder if all this wasn't done on purpose to try to make a huge divide coming up to these elections.
Yeah, you gotta look at it that way because that's why you say you got. Sometimes you try to prevent your mind from going certain places, but knowing the wickedness of these people and what they have done, the things they have accomplished because they were able to pull the wool over the people's eyes. 9/11, all this other shit, creating things in order to get into wars, all for profit, when nobody has done anything to them. How fitting that they're joining forces, for now, the military, with Israel. Birds of a feather. The only difference is one wears a yarmulke. The nation of Edom, pretending to be. See, Hitler had it right. And they twisted that. Garnered all the sympathy they could. When it's proven they were a bunch of freaks. Just research the Weimar Republic. Hitler didn't like what these nasty fuckers were doing to his country. And in a manner of, when was he jailed? Because his buddy, which one was it? Because he later, because they were in jail together. Damn it, what was his name? But when he was in, and he wrote Mein Kampf. That's what he was talking about there. How these certain people, all right, with usury, same thing. J.D. Rockefeller complained about them folks. All right. In his book, when he sold his cars, he had that little booklet, The International Jew or some shit, that was in the glove compartment. And and still getting paid for something that didn't happen. The fuck. The greatest case of stolen identity theft the world has ever known. And for some reason people haven't linked that to the slave trade. Who were the people that were sold into slavery? They weren't Africans. They weren't Hamites. There's 8 families of Shemites. Of which I am one. So how can I be anti-Shemite? See, that's the trick that they pulled on everybody. There's no such thing as a Semite. It's Shem, not Sem. And I bring them up because you better believe they had something to do with it. They had their hand in this.
But I'm going to tell you this. I seen everything Metcalf said. And I'm just going to say this too. He got fucking recorded for everything he said. He was recorded for it all. Mello was moved to a different prison because they thought another prison was not safe enough for him. Look it up.
Yeah.
He was moved to a different prison tonight. Y'all, please pray for this kid. And so many of you fail to understand. It's not that we don't have passion for the loss of life, but we have a right to feel that this kid deserves proper, true, adequate justice. And I have a reason to believe that the defense attorney trashed the case on purpose.
There you go.
And even I can pick different pieces and show you that he definitely didn't give him a proper defense like he was required to do to the best of his ability.
That's grounds for an appeal in and of itself.
Under ethics standards, he was required to represent that kid the best that he could once he signed a retainer and announced his representation to the case. There you go, Dean. See, Dean? Y'all pass it out there to Dean for me. Get it to him. Let him see this video. I'm not as damn legally dumb as you thought I am. Or that you try to tell me.
It's probably going to magically disappear.
Now remember, fam, the defense attorney only called one
6
witness
witnesses.
during sentencing, and that was Carmelo's mother. Just one sentencing, just one. And a guy is
Oh,
on the
okay.
line. His life is on the line for 5 to 99 years. A 17-year-old kid rooted in the community. They called one person to plead for mercy on his life. One person. They only called 4 people during the actual trial. Not they, but he only called 4 people during the actual trial, and no expert witnesses. Didn't fight for the video that's out there to be
Mm-hmm.
aired.
And that's
Didn't
huge.
call into Austin Metcalf's violent bullying history,
Yep.
documented. None of that. Oh, he absolutely sold him out. Absolutely. So, also, as far as the DA is concerned, the DA entire office is being sued for discrimination, sexual sexual assault,
Yep. Doctor, what's her name?
intimidation, and some other things. Yeah, the entire
Yep.
DA office, including
Yep.
the lead prosecutor
Mm-hmm.
and the DA himself. Yeah. Now, back to
Motherfucker. Oh, you got to hear that. But I don't have it set up now. It's in one of his. It's in his. This video here. I'm about to play the second one. You can see this one. It's called Breaking New Video. Shows Carmelo Anthony being jumped. There's another. No, I don't think it is this one. It's but he goes into and reads the document. All right, and it's got all this stuff about this guy with the police chief of all people, talking about how he like her breast and all this. I mean, man, but these people in judgment of you. Let's go ahead and roll this. I got it set up. This is another individual that saw the video.
My name is T, and when I went to see the video, they ask if you want to see it from either 2 minutes before the stabbing or 11 minutes before. So I
Yeah,
chose
see,
11
see,
minutes.
yeah.
From the
Yep.
moment she pressed play, Carmelo Anthony was already sitting up underneath that canopy, and he was sitting there for at least 8 to 9.5 minutes. You see, well, I saw a boy in a black hoodie go over to him first, and then they left out of the tent, and then you see coming across the field was another 6 boys. When they got to the bleachers, one, he went out of frame, and the other one sat at the bottom. But the remaining 4, they went directly to Carmelo Anthony, and like T said before, it was a brief conversation, and then all you see is commotion. And we know from the interviews that Hunter did, we know that Hunter was, in fact, up underneath that tent. The next thing you see, you can see Carmelo, in the midst of them assaulting him, you can see Carmelo trying to back out, but he gets pulled back forward. The next thing you see is Carmelo, he comes shooting out the back, but he's still not standing. And he had to like kind of crab crawl backwards.
Yeah, these guys. Carmelo is a small guy. All right, and you got these big lumbering Edomites. All right, coming over there again, confronted him. All right.
And he had to away from them because they still had a hold of his hoodie. He goes up a couple bleachers and he's looking around for which way to go. He runs diagonally down the bleachers and then he falls. At the time of him falling, that's when I noticed another 3 boys coming down the bleachers chasing after him. But once Carmelo got up, he took off. You didn't see him for the rest of the video. At no point in that video do you see Hunter holding his brother.
Yeah, that's
At no
another
point in
lie.
that video do you see those boys ever going
To
back to the
garner
tent
sympathy.
and sitting down.
Oh,
That
he's
was
a
all a lie.
hero. His
And
brother
I also
in
have
his
questions.
arms.
I don't know how the defense did not play that video. Because when you
Exactly.
see that video, it was self-defense. Carmelo was only 5'8", 130 something pounds, and Austin and Hunter Metcalf were 6'1", 220 something pounds. So for people to say that he should have used his hands, people can die from fights, from people using their hands. And that's all I'm going to say for right now.
That's why they have weight divisions, dumbasses.
Salute to Atlanta Black Star for that video.
Yeah, they
These
be on
guys over
point.
there, y'all go follow Atlanta Black Star. They do some incredible work over there, and they stay on it. They're very, very consistent, especially in regards to black culture and justice. Moving on. Okay, so what y'all think about that? I'm talking to you Trumpsters, because that's the only ones who are thinking that way. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
motherfuckers.
You. I study. I study. But you know what? That don't matter. Because in your mind, Carmelo Anthony is the reason that the blacks are upset. They're the reason that the blacks are taken to the streets. And the blacks are once again calling out the white privilege. So he is the catalyst for that. And so you're mad at him. And so he joins the long list of black victims who you disparage. The long list of black victims who you degrade, whose graves you take a dump on. But you know that's kind of how it is when you're dealing with uncivilized mutts. Yeah, fam.
That's what it boils down to.
Uncivilized mutts.
Uncivilized mutts.
Well. So, the video is out there. We know it because she's not the only one. She is not the only one who says she saw that video. There was other people who have said they've seen the video also. So, why won't they release the video? Because it would exonerate Carmelo Anthony. Because Carmelo Anthony would have never went to trial had they released that video. That is why it took the prosecution so long to put the case together. Hey man, on any given day, if a fight break out, somebody get killed, you're getting charged the same day. You are getting charged the same day. If not the same, within hours, it ain't gonna be no weeks passing before they decide to charge you, especially when they got evidence. You got the evidence? No, they didn't have the evidence. Well, not any evidence that could convict him. That's why they didn't charge him, and that's why it took so long for them to bring the charges. They brought the charges out of pressure from the community. They knew they didn't have a case, so they manufactured a case. I know some of you uncivilized mutts don't like to hear that, because in your mind, the system is perfect. The system, no matter how many black people have been exonerated throughout the years and falsely accused, it don't matter.
Proving that
because
it's
you're
fucked up.
uncivilized. You claim to love God. You don't love God. You are the devil's advocate. That's the
Yep.
truth.
That's their God.
You know damn well that was self-defense without the video. If you just go by what was said.
And that's good because other people have brought up the fact, what about Daniel Penny? He didn't touch no one. He was talking shit, but he was talking to himself. So this guy sneaks up behind him and chokes him out with the aid of two others. One on each side, so he couldn't even try to help himself. What happens? Acquitted. He gets to go and some skybox with the president and vice president for a photo op. And there are others. There are many others. This child that got hunted in South Carolina by the store owner and his son. Yes, they hunted him. And then he was shot in the back. And they use the excuse, well, a gun fell out. He wasn't trying to use it. So that's probably when they saw their opportunity. Again, not guilty. Acquitted. See, this keeps happening. But no, we're not supposed to say anything. I can't wait till this place is leveled. Lake of fire, as it says in the scriptures, because that's what's going to happen to this place.
He walked up to him, he pushed him, he threatened his life. Okay, even if it was not even if it did come down to a crime. You mean to tell me now, all of a sudden, we don't consider criminal history? I
Yeah.
find it odd how they consider
It's very
criminal
odd.
history when they're deciding to punish someone, when they're deciding to persecute or prosecute someone. They always
Defense
consider
attorney,
criminal
the
history.
defense attorney.
They could not consider Carmelo's criminal history because he had none. Who they hated when a black man don't have criminal history, when a black boy don't have criminal history. They can't stand it when a black male does not have criminal history. They talk down on the black males that do, but they want them to have criminal history. Just like they talk down on black people who are low income. They enjoy that. They like that because you're right where they need you to be. When they see black people acting uncivilized and harming each other, that's just something for them to talk about. They don't give a damn about black people harming each other, killing each other, and all of that stuff.
Nope.
They don't care nothing about no black teen pregnancy, black people being on welfare, or jobless. Or
By the way, they're the most on
they
it.
don't care. Yeah, they love it. Because you're right there. That's how they check the temperature. That's how they check the social ladder temperature. Listen, let me go over here and see how the blacks folks are doing. What the blacks are up to. Look at them. Look at them over there struggling. Let me write something nice right quick. 13% and usual suspects. Wait a minute. Somebody wrote usual suspects under a post where a white person did something bad. Wait a minute. Hey, they can't use our memes. They can't use our emojis.
Yeah, that's the gist of it. He's low down, dirty. Hey, that's why they call it Dirty South, right? Yeah, but this ain't over. All right, this ain't no wishful thinking or anything like that. There's going to be enough interest in this case. Like I say, I hope depending how fast or slow the wheels turn on this, and I'm betting that they're going to try to do everything they can to make it as slow as possible. All right. But again, that just goes to show you that this place needs to be destroyed. The wickedness of America. You want to know why they don't want history taught? I'm talking about real history. Well, you're seeing it. And these immigrants, you got to know this was not an all white, as they want to say, jury. No, they had those that were white adjacent, like East Indians and your Hispanics, and was there an Asian or two? Yeah. They knew exactly what they were doing. And there was a study on that as far as having, because they really don't want so-called black males on a jury, especially something like this. So, you know, but they rejected 3 educated women, so-called black women. So we knew from there that, yeah, the fix is in here, yeah. So that's all I had on this. You know, why would you, or we, I should say, as a people, why would you have any faith in it? Nothing has really changed. Nothing. Nothing. They're sending a clear message to our people. Don't matter if you're a straight A student, we don't give a shit, because you're all the same. That's one message. But mine is, I have to go to Psalms 41 and 1 and Psalms 71 and 4. You know, you're asking someone who was created to be the wicked for some type of justice, and that's just not going to happen. They're incapable of this. They put on a front like, yes, we're about law and order, but for who? You got to remember, the police department evolved from the slave catchers. That's fact. This is all about, has all been about controlling our people. So with that, yeah, that's all I have on this. I didn't want to even take this long on it, but like I said, there's other important things going on, you know, and not that this isn't, but we're talking about on the world stage. And again, everybody is seeing this. Everybody's watching this from abroad. And this is just another mark against this country. Everybody sees it. And it's beautiful at the time we're in, because we're seeing the downfall of Edomite / white supremacy. Yes. The enemy has been revealed. The man of sin has been revealed. 2 Thessalonians 2nd chapter. Because they really do think they're on that level. All roads, remember, lead to the MOTB, mark of the beast. They're going to have the C-hip, these implantable medical, as they put it in that document when Obama was in. These implantable devices, what do you think they're for? White supremacy at the end of the day is about control. Control. Just as they did in this case here. All right, so with that, once again, I'd like to, well, I hope whoever views this video has been edified. That's what we do here at Great Millstone. And once again, I'd like to encourage you, once again, for situations like this, to be on guard. Have your ears and your eyes open. Be circumspect. All right. 1 Peter 5:8. Because they on the prowl. Like my man said, I think it was in South Central. The hunt is on. And we are the prey. We always have been. So with that, until the next video, shalom.